I'll give you a little backup. So back in, I guess, September, October, Shannon and the marketing team came to me and they said, Darryl, Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment would like to honor me and celebrate the 10-point game. And I thought that's pretty cool and pretty special. Never realized it would come to the magnitude it is here today, but it means a lot to me. One of the things I said to them at the time, it would be important for me to bring back any of the players that are still alive that could come and play in that game with their spouses, because as we all know, you don't set a record like this and do the achievements on the ice without your teammates. And that was special for them to do it. It's also nice for me that my family, I come from a big family, and most of them will be here tonight. I got 6 grandkids, and so there's been a lot going on. The fact that it's on the 27th, I don't know why things like this happen from time to time. Obviously, the record was in February, but because it's an Olympic year, we only have one home game, so it worked accordingly. One of the things I'd like to acknowledge today is, you all know, or may not know, my wife, Wendy, was a big part of my life, and my banner, her name's on it. And as we were going through this 50th anniversary thing, when she had passed away, I was going through some of the things, and I found her original tickets from that game. Didn't think a lot of it, had them framed, put them up on the wall, and because of the attention of the 50th anniversary, I looked closer at them. And it's hard to believe, you know, you talk a little bit about numbers, and you saw probably the little video the Leafs put out about the 27 number. Well, in Wendy's case, those are her tickets. Now, back in the day when you went into Maple Leaf Gardens, generally the attendant would rip your ticket in half and you'd have half a ticket stub, right? Well, Wendy, because she was my wife, went in, they didn't check her ticket, so she had the full ticket, which is kind of cool. So here it is, the 50th anniversary, and I start to look at these tickets. She's in section 50. She's in seat 13 and 14, 27. February 7th, number 7. And the price of the ticket, believe it or not, was $10. So it's an honor for me to bring Wendy into the equation today. She's such an important part of my life, and to share that with you. I talked about teammates. The guy that was the bouncer out there in the 70s, my buddy Tiger, he's in town, and we've been friends for a long time. And one thing for me as a person, and Wendy was good friends of Lanny's wife, Tiger's wife, and all these players I played with. And after she passed away, one of the things I was concerned about, obviously remarrying and met Luba, how she would fit into it all. Well, Luba is important to their lives as Wendy was, and she'll be here tonight. I've been married 21 years to her, 30 to Wendy. So it's special to have friends like that and their wives together, and that we'll all be able to celebrate it with my son and daughters and my grandkids. So I'm going to bring Tiger up. Now, you probably heard this story before. So that night, score was 11-4, right? Borey had 6 assists, Lanny had 4 or 5 points, Earl Thompson had 5 points. Well, my buddy here, he was -2. He was on for 2 goals against, none for. We won 11-4, but he's still a good teammate, and he's still here to share with us. So come on up, Tiger. We'll answer a few questions. It's great to have you here. And then we got a little surprise for you in a minute. So anybody got any questions?
You got a tea set from Ballard. Do you still have that?
I have the tea set, actually. You know, silver's going up in price. You notice that? I think it's like $100. But more importantly, the tea service was special. It's an heirloom that we have. Those things go black when you leave them out, you know, that silver stuff, but it's a treat. It was an honor for Harold Ballard to give that to me at center ice with Wendy and Ryan at the time, and yeah, I still have the tea service.
What was it like being around the team, the players this morning? Was there a message you wanted to convey to them in particular?
So this morning was special, and it was nice that Tiger was a part in the dressing room. It was a very private ceremony meeting with Keith Pelly and Brad Treliving, and they presented me with the Bickle Award. And there's a little history of the Bickle Award, and it hasn't been presented too many times, but the fact that I received it today in front of the current players was kind of cool. But the message I said to the players this morning is, you don't achieve anything without your teammates. You don't have success. You don't do it on your own. And you as a group, you know, it's important to realize that. And the other thing, I don't know if I said this or not, but you build some friendships in your career. Like here we are 50 years later. Ingi Hammerström flew in from Sweden. Errol Thompson's here. Lanny, Tiger, a few other guys. And those friendships are lasting. And I'm a believer, friendships work 2 ways. It's a 2-way street, and there has to be a give and take all the time. And sometimes you might not want to do things because you're busy or whatever, but I've learned over the years it's important to keep those friendships alive and cherish them, appreciate them, and number one, never take them for granted. So that is very meaningful for me, for to have Lanny, Turnbull, all these guys back in. We're going to miss Boria and the guys that aren't here. It's hard to believe off the 19 players that played in that game, I think 7 or 8 of them have passed away, which is a shame, but we're here to enjoy it and celebrate it with the fans. That was the other thing. The Leaf fans have been loyal for a long time. A lot of people weren't around to remember watching that game in the 70s, but they still feel the impulse of the fact that OVO did a jacket like this, and it's the Harold Ballard effect.
There you go. Fine, Tiger.
Who is it? Gary Bettman?
Am I getting suspended again?
Never fails. This happened 4 or 5 times. He hasn't realized there's a button to turn it off yet. But anyway, so Tigers here to enjoy it. I don't know what the question was, but
So for both of you, as you've watched the game progress over the last 50 years, how has it changed, and what do you think of the product today? Tiger, like, there's not that much anymore.
how's it changed? Well, hey, before we go there, so back in the 70s when we played, we wore the same jersey the whole season, like 78 games, you know? And that jersey at the end of the season, we never thought about keeping them. That wasn't in our mindset, right? So I guess Mr. Ballard had given it away to somebody. Nobody knew where, who, or what. About 10 years ago, it surfaced. A gentleman in New Jersey or something bought an allotment of jerseys, goes through it, finds out, matches, that's my jersey, right? So about 6 months ago, I guess in June last year, this past year, the jersey came up for auction in Texas, Gray Flannel Auctions. And 2 friends of mine, I was their childhood idol, Joey Arfin and Mark Shapiro, who are here today, went out and purchased that jersey. They basically be $200,000. We were making like 150 back then, ain't there? So anyway, they did it because they obviously liked me as a person and a player, but they wanted to bring that jersey back to Canada where they felt it belonged and to give it to me. So tonight, it's going to be an honor for me to wear that jersey out at center ice. I showed the players in the dressing room the jersey. Bring the jersey out, okay? Tiger, you go. There we go. I'll introduce you to Mark Shapiro and Joey Arfin. And they're the 2 guys that got it. Now, if you look at these jerseys, back in the 70s when we played, I mean, there's notice the leaf stem, eh? At one point it was, the leaf stem, it was crooked and sewn, right? So when OVO did their collection, we did it with the crooked stem. You look at the rips and the stains on the thing, right? It doesn't smell. It might look like it smells, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't. And then back in the day in the 70s, the Broad Street Bully days, the trainers, they took, you know, your old garter straps you used to use when you hold up your socks? Well, they would cut those and they'd put 2 straps on them to tie down your jerseys. So it's pretty cool. I feel honored that these 2 guys did what they did, and to have it here tonight and to share it with the fans, to share it with the media. And Tiger's the keeper of the jersey, so
It's safe.
it's very safe. So it's an honor for me to have this here and share it with you guys and share it with the fans tonight. Yeah. Want to hold on to it, Tiger?
Absolutely. So those straps were so they couldn't pull the jersey over your
Yeah,
head?
yeah. That was a normal thing. If you didn't have a tie down, they try to get your Tiger knows all about that. He can tell. But anybody have any questions?
I want to ask Tiger your memories of that game and what was going on the bench as he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It wasn't so much.
Hey, come over here.
It wasn't so much during the game, you know, because you're just playing. And in every game you go in, your goal is to win the game. But it was after the game that it sunk into us all how special this was, and it was special to a special guy.
I'm going to get him a Kleenex commercial.
I'd ask you about how the game has changed over the last 50 years there.
Well, the game's changed a lot, as you know. Back the NHL is clear. I mean, a Broad Street bully fight where everybody was on the ice. That was kind of a norm back then. It wasn't much fun to play in those games, but they've cleaned.
Absolutely, it was fun.
3,966 minutes in penalty. So he had a lot of fun, man. But yeah, they've changed a lot. Obviously, you know, the goaltenders are bigger and probably in better shape than they were back then. But we still all had as much fun, and you respect each era of the game. I respect the era before me, and then, you know, obviously me passing Rocket Richard's record. I might have saw the stat, which I didn't realize either. I had the score sheet in about a month and a half ago. I'm looking at it, and it's the first time it came to me. I look at, okay, where's my 9th point? It was a goal. Errol Thompson assisted on it. And I look, Rocket Richard were number 9. I were 27. It was at 9:27 of that period. What are the chances of stuff like that happening? The same as this Wendy ticket. So those things are all cool. The story within the story, so to speak. I'll share this with you. Hockey Night in Canada after the game. Remember being interviewed. They said, "Did you do anything special?" I said, "Yeah, I was in a hurry that day. I was behind schedule. My wife was 8 months pregnant. I would have had to make my own pregame meal, so I went and grabbed some Swiss chalet chicken, eating on the seat of my car, got home, had my nap." So after the game, they asked me, I said, "I had Swiss chalet chicken." Now, Swiss chalet sent me $500 worth of gift certificates back then. And you could buy a lot of chicken. I did the math. That's like $2,900 worth today. But they're doing a promotion. They're coming out in all their Swiss chalet stores called the Sitler 10-Point Special. We have a bureau called Sitler 10-Point Lager, a 50th anniversary commemorative can. These guys are my partners in it. So there's lots of exciting things going on. One of the things that happened to me, it's funny how you go in your life. Mike Leonetti, rest his soul, he passed away. You guys probably know him, some of them. He came to me and said, "I'd like to do a children's book." And I said, "That would be awesome." I didn't ask to get paid, but the fact that you'd be part of a children's story, this was back in early 90s, I guess it was. It's called My Leaf Sweater. There was a book out called My Sweater, the sweater, the Canadians jersey. So now we have a Leaf one. So all these years later, these books have sold. It's in all the schools across Canada. But one of the things that's cool to me, I'm 75, and people come up to me today, and I'm still their favorite player because I was their bedtime story for so many times in so many years. So those things are special and meaningful, as is the tonight. You guys want to ask these guys any questions? They're the guys that put up the coin and the cash, and they're here to share this memory and moment with us all too. So it's Mark and Joey, and anybody else?
Darryl, can I ask one more quick question? I apologize
Sure.
if I've been asked before, but do you think a 10-point game by a player is possible in this era of the modern NHL?
Well, how many people do you think? I don't think it's going to happen. It could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. You do the stats and you see how many times 10 points is scored by one team. These guys, I think, did the math, maybe one a year, 10 goals in a game. So when Gretzky and Lemieux didn't do it in the late 80s, early 90s, they got 8 points a couple times. That was the time I thought it was going to be broken, you know. And I remember watching a game, honestly. Wayne Gretzky was playing the Minnesota North Stars. It was an afternoon game, and I was at home watching it. He had 8 points at the end of the second period. And Sather put him out there the whole time. He told me, he says, "I was so tired I couldn't freaking even move," to try to get 2 more points. So the fact that I did it in a Leaf uniform, it's 50 years, we're celebrating, it's awesome.
Darryl, it's an incredible history that the Leafs have. TSN, we're doing a feature on the face of the franchise. Who's the all-time face of the franchise for the Leafs? Obviously, you got some votes. I'm just wondering, who do you see as the face of the all-time Leafs franchise?
So I was fortunate when I came in 70 as a first-round pick to play with players that had won the Cup. You know, Dave Keon was there, George Armstrong, Bobby Bond, those types of players. And I realized as a young, shy kid coming in, just watched them and what the respect they had for the tradition of the Leafs and what it meant to win a Stanley Cup. Dave Keon, to me, was the greatest player in Leaf history. He won the trophy, he won the Conn Smythe Trophy, he won the Stanley Cup, and when the fans voted on him a few years ago, he was the number one guy. It was unfortunate he went through all that crap with Ballard and was kind of left out of it or didn't want to be a part of it. Black mark in our history, but Davey's back. Brendan Shanahan brought him back. His banner's up there with the rest of us, which is cool. Yes.
Does it ever get old for you? Because this record hasn't been broken, and you're still one of everybody's hockey player's favorite hockey player. And I'm not naming any names, but somebody could have been named Darryl Sittler if she was a boy, because her dad was a big fan, just saying. How does that make you feel that you're like, okay, to your grandkids, your papa or your grandpa or whoever, but like there's still people who remember that I remember when he scored that goal. Like it's still a big deal 50 years later.
Well, it is, and I don't take that for granted, and I appreciate it. Like Mark's story was, he was 7 or 8, and he was keeping track of the stats that night with his dad, and he said, "Holy moly, this guy! There's a lot of points." So he's adding up the numbers, right? Joey remembers watching other people come up to me. They might have been a teenager, they might have been somewhere else, and they say, "I remember that night what happened." You know, and one of the things I think is great about hockey in Canada, guys like Tiger, Saturday nights, that was what we did. Family have a family bath. You look forward to watching the Leafs or the Canadians or, hockey night in Canada, right? So the fact that that game was a hockey night in Canada against the original 6 team was cool. But more importantly, people remember the moment they had with their dad, a young girl watching it, and that night, it brings back nice memories. And for all of us, what's all going around in the world, there's lots of negativity. So when you get something like this, it's great that we can all share it together, celebrate it and again, and appreciate it. So that's how I feel about it.
Last question?
I'd like to know how you found the sweater.
I think it came to our attention actually through Darryl. And once we knew it was available for sale, Joey and I got together and thought we had to bring it, we had to get it, we had to put our best foot forward and try to buy it and reunite Darryl with the jersey. And
We had a particular strategy.
we had a strategy, and it paid off. And you know what? Darryl talks about watching that game 50 years ago as a 7-year-old, and it's true. The one thing I didn't think was I'd be standing here 50 years later with him. It's an incredible record, but more importantly, he's an incredible person, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a part of this and his life. It's just amazing.
I don't know what I can add to that, except that to me this has been at least a 20-year quest since I had the privilege of meeting and getting to know Darryl and the type of person he is. And I was searching for this jersey for many years. I tried to buy it a long time ago to some phantom owner in the northeast of the U.S. And when it came up for auction in the spring, first thing I did was, first of all, Darryl sent me the article because he knew that I had been looking for it for a long time, and a lot of friends knew I was looking for it, so they all sent me this article, and I called Mark right away, and I said, we got to buy this thing. We got to reunite the man, the legend, with the jersey for this 50th event. So
Now we have
Here
to
we
try
are
to get
today.
it back. Now we have to try to get it back from Tiger.
Good luck.
The stick is long gone, right?
So I was just asked that question today. To be honest with you, Mark Farrow, he has a big collection. He has a stick that says 10 point. I signed a 10 point. Every game back in the 70s, Tiger will vouch for this, I had 5 sticks ready to go, right? So I don't know if I used 1 stick that game, 3 sticks, 2 sticks, or whatever. But there's a stick that Mark has that he believes it is. He's asking me to verify it. I can't because I really don't know. So I just, all honesty. And as you know, this stuff is pretty precious for some fans, It means a lot to them. And it has to be authenticated to be real. So that's my honest answer for that one.